Good evening, I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. 2 weeks down and 2 weeks to go. The movement control order enters phase 2, and if you all stay at home, we may not need a phase 3 or phase 4. Yang Di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah will not accept his royal emoluments as the country tries to contain the COVID-19 crisis. His Majesty has consented for the government to cease the payment for a period of 6 months, reported Bernama. According to the federal expenditure estimate for budget 2020, 13.5 million ringgit has been allocated for the Yang Di-Pertuan Agong. Of this, 7.6 million ringgit is for emoluments, 5.6 million ringgit is for services and supply, 170,000 is for assets, and 150,000 ringgit is for fixed payments. The government had also announced various measures including a moratorium on loan repayments to ease the financial burden as a result of the pandemic. On top of that, in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19, the government has imposed the movement control order on March 18th. It was supposed to end today, but it was extended until April 14th. And by the looks of it, many are worried that the MCO may be extended yet again. Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob said today that whether or not the MCO is extended is up to the people.
Saya tahu ramai rakyat yang ingin kembali kepada penghidupan biasa. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, yang boleh memastikan tidak ada PKP ketiga, PKP keempat, kita boleh berharaya seperti biasa adalah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sendiri. Jika kita terus mematuhi setiap arahan dan SOP yang dikeluarkan oleh pihak kerajaan, saya percaya perkara tentang ketakutan kita untuk sambungan PKP tersebut akan dapat kita selesaikan.
Meanwhile, Ismail Sabri also revealed that all Malaysians returning from abroad will have to be quarantined in government-operated facilities starting April 3rd.
Setiap rakyat kita yang pulang dari luar negara akan dikuarantinkan selama 14 hari di tempat-tempat yang dikhaskan oleh pihak kerajaan. Sesampai saja mereka di lapangan terbang, mereka akan dibawa terus dengan menggunakan bas ke pusat-pusat kuarantin yang disediakan.
Those under quarantine will still be able to keep in contact with their family members. The number of people recovering from COVID-19 in the country has been consistently higher than those dying from the disease. Better compliance with the MCO may see these figures improve over time. A total of 537 people have recovered from COVID-19 in Malaysia since the outbreak started, with 58 people being discharged in the last 24 hours. This puts the recovery rate at 19.4% of the total number of cases. Meanwhile, 140 new COVID-19 infections were reported, putting the active COVID-19 cases at 2,186. Health Ministry Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah also revealed that 6 more people have passed away as of noon today. This brings the death toll to 43 people since the start of the outbreak. As for the number of COVID-19 patients in the intensive care unit, it remains at 94 people. The number of people in ICU requiring ventilators to breathe fell from 62 to 60 following the deaths.
Tapi apa yang penting ialah kita nampak sekarang ni peningkatan kes yang perlukan bantuan pernafasan, dan kita perlukan peralatan. Memang kita dah dapat pun peralatan, kita ada tempat, ada ruang untuk mereka. Dan sekarang ni kita tengah lihat bagaimana kita dapat tingkatkan lagi sumber manusia, contohnya pakar bius ataupun intensivis, dan juga nurse-nurse yang dapat merawat mereka lah.
What would it be like to live in a condominium sealed off from the rest of the country? The folks at Manera City 1 in KL may be able to answer that question. This may look like any other condominium built in the 90s. Perhaps you may even think it appears unusually lifeless from the outside. But there's a reason for this. This is the first building in the country to be placed under lockdown after recording 17 COVID-19 cases. Manera City 1 is the third location for the enhanced movement control order announced by the government, and the first time an enhanced MCO is applied to a specific building. It is also the first such order in an urban area. However, this third MCO differs slightly from the earlier ones where businesses selling essential goods at the complex will be allowed to remain open. Residents will also be allowed to order food online, which will be delivered to the lobby. The order also does not state that the residents are confined to their units, but instead say they may not leave the complex. The previous enhanced MCO required all shops to be closed and food was delivered by the Social Welfare Department as residents are not allowed to leave their homes. The previous two enhanced MCOs were applied to 2 villages in Sempang Renggam and 7 villages in Hulu Langat after a spike in COVID-19 cases. The enhanced MCO will be in place until April 13th. A former minister lodged a police report after he found 250,000 ringgit in cash missing from his home safe. But now the MACC is wondering, where did he get 250,000 ringgit from? The MACC has opened an investigation paper into allegations that an ex-minister possessed a suspicious amount of cash. In a statement today, the MACC said the investigation paper was opened after it received a complaint that raised questions on the source of the huge amount of cash in the former minister's safekeeping. When contacted by Malaysia Kini, MACC Investigation Director Ahmad Yahya said they are expecting to question the ex-minister next week. However, due to COVID-19, Kusari said they will send a small number of officers to record the statement and follow the advice of the government on preventive measures in conducting the process. The MACC did not mention names but appeared to be referring to former Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Abdurrahman. Last Sunday, Syed Saddiq lodged a police report after an estimated 250,000 ringgit disappeared from a safe at his Petaling Jaya residence. Talk like Doraemon, wear makeup and giggle. No, these aren't tips from a 7-year-old. These are tips from the Women and Family Ministry for women during the Movement Control Order.
The Women and Family Ministry has offered some advice for wives and working mothers during the Movement Control Order period. In a series of posts on its official Instagram account yesterday, it urged women to refrain from arguing with or nagging their husbands to do household chores. In one poster, women are urged to use humorous words while emulating the Japanese famous cartoon character Doraemon Stone and follow through with a giggle. The ministry also advised women against being sarcastic with their partners. Instead, it said that partners needed to be informed to help around the house. This was part of its campaign to reduce domestic arguments at home. For working mothers working from home, it offered some tips to help women stay focused and productive, avoiding wearing home clothes and wear makeup. The ministry also cautioned against working mothers being too focused on work in order not to neglect family members. The post drew flags from the public, including Setiawangsa MP Nik Nazmi Ahmad, who expressed his astonishment at the PSAs. The All Women's Action Society Awam also frowned upon the idea, which it said is an objectification of women. Lawyer cum activist Hani Tan also criticised the newly minted Minister Rina Harun over the PSAs, questioning the letter's priorities.
Disinfecting roads and pathways may be a great opportunity for a photo op, but how effective is it? The experts have weighed in.
Several medical experts have dismissed the effectiveness of disinfecting road surfaces and pathways from contamination by the coronavirus. Taking to Twitter, Selangor COVID-19 Task Force member Dr. Christopher Lee said the process carried out yesterday in Petaling Jaya will not achieve its intended impact of lowering infection rates. He said evidence-based solutions should be implemented in order not to waste resources and man-hours. He was responding to a news report quoting several health experts who raised similar concerns over the effectiveness of a public disinfection operation by the Housing and Local Council Ministry and its Minister, Zuraida Kamarudin. Former Deputy Health Director General Dr. Lokman Hakim Sulaiman was also quoted questioning the process that involves spraying disinfectant solution directly onto the road surface. Lokman explained that authorities should instead disinfect frequent touch points such as doorknobs, lift buttons and escalator railings to curb the spread of COVID-19. He also said publicity blitz from the operations is already putting many people at risk from the virus. Another local virologist, Lam Saikit, was quoted saying that roads are unlikely to be contaminated or a source of infection.
Coming up next, with over 540 deaths in a single day, the crisis continues to mount in the United States. Don't go anywhere. Our next story is brought to you by Blue Air. With more than 160,000 confirmed cases and over 3,000 deaths, the COVID-19 situation in the US isn't looking good. The US death toll from the coronavirus pandemic climbed past 3,000 on Monday, the deadliest day yet in the country's mounting crisis, while New York cheered the arrival of a gleaming 1,000-bed US Navy hospital ship as a sign of hope in the city's desperate fight. In a grim new milestone marking the spread of the virus, total deaths across the United States hit 3,017, including at least 540 on Monday, and the reported cases climbed to more than 163,000, according to a Reuters tally. People in New York and New Jersey lined both sides of the Hudson River to cheer the US Navy ship Comfort, a converted oil tanker painted white with a giant red cross, as it sailed past the Statue of Liberty, accompanied by support ships and helicopters. The Comfort will treat non-coronavirus patients, including those who require surgery and critical care, in an effort to free up other resources to fight the virus. Hospitals in the New York City area have been overrun with patients suffering from COVID-19. Officials have also appealed for volunteer healthcare workers. The United States has the most confirmed cases in the world, a number that's likely to soar when tests for the virus become more widespread. US President Donald Trump told a White House briefing that more than 1 million Americans had been tested for the coronavirus, less than 3% of the population. While the United States has ramped up testing after a series of setbacks, it still lags countries like Italy and South Korea on a per capita basis. However, Trump said the country would be prepared if the coronavirus returned in the fall, and his advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, agreed.
We're prepared. I hope it doesn't happen. Doctor, would you like to say something about that? I hope it doesn't happen, but we're certainly prepared.
In fact, I would anticipate that that would actually happen because of the degree of transmissibility. However, if you come back in the fall, it will be a totally different ballgame of what happened when we first got hit with it in the beginning of this year. There will be several things that will be different. Our ability to go out and be able to test, identify, isolate, and contact trace will be orders of magnitude better than what it was just a couple of months ago.
Facing safety and wage concerns, delivery and retail gig workers in the US went on strike on Monday.
Warehouse, delivery and retail gig workers in the United States went on strike on Monday to call attention to safety and wage concerns for people laboring through the coronavirus crisis. Roughly 200,000 workers at US online grocery delivery company Instacart went on strike, demanding step-up protection and pay as they continue to work. More than 100 workers at an Amazon warehouse in Staten Island, New York, also walked off the job on Monday following reports of coronavirus among the facility's staff. Amazon later fired an employee who helped organize the action for alleged violations of his employment, including leaving a paid quarantine to participate in the demonstration. New York's Attorney General said her office was considering all legal options in response to the firing, citing the right to organize in the state. Workers have also protested in other countries. Dozens of Amazon workers at a facility near Florence, Italy, went on strike on Monday. French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire said last week that pressure on Amazon employees to work despite inadequate protections was unacceptable. Meanwhile, Amazon said it has taken extreme measures to clean buildings and obtain safety gear, and calling the workers heroes for continuing to show up to work.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Michael. Thank you for watching.